Okay, when solving a quadratic, that's an inequality, so a quadratic inequality, what we're going to do is solve this as if this was an equal sign to start. So we have x squared minus 4x. I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides is greater than 0. And again, pretend that's an equal sign as you go through this. I'm going to then factor this. It's a quadratic. So it's x and x. My signs are different. And then factors of 5 that add up to be a negative 4 would be a negative 5 and a positive 1. Set each equal to 0 now to find the zeros. And we get x equals a negative 1 and x is equal to 5. Put those two zeros on the number line, negative 1 and 5. And now what happens is, just like when we're solving those absolute inequalities, absolute value inequalities, it's the same type of situation. It's strictly greater than, so we're going to have an open circle and open circle. So your answer is either going to be negative 1 to 5 and all the answers between them, not including those two, or it's going to be everything out here and everything out here. That's the way the quadratic inequalities work. So what you do is you're going to pick a test point. My test point is going to be in here. I'm going to pick 0. So I'm going to let x equal 0, and I'm going to plug it in. I have 0 minus 0 is 0 is greater than 5, and that's false. So since that's false, this will be my solution set. So then let's state the solution set. X will be less than a negative 1, and x will be greater than 5. Or you can put it in interval notation. We go from negative infinity to negative 1, but we're not going to include the negative 1. So it's a parentheses, and then parentheses 5 all the way to infinity. And that's the solution. So let's try it one more time. We're going to go down to this next one. And you guys can maybe work ahead and then pause it. But we're going to go through the solution. Once again, same way. We're going to take 2x squared minus 5x, and we're going to subtract 7 from both sides. We have greater than 0. Then we're going to look to factor this. And we get 2x and x. All right, now be careful. Your signs are going to be different. And then we have to find factors of 7 that are going to add up to be 5. I can't put the 7 here because the 7 is going to multiply that 2x. It's going to get to be too big. So I'm going to put the 7 here. I'm going to put the 1 here. And notice I'm going to get 2x and 7x. And when I put those two things together, I have to get a negative 5x out. So the minus is going to go here, so minus 7x plus 2x, and it's factored. So each of your factors equal to 0. X here, adding 7 and then dividing by 2 is 7/2. Subtracting 1 from both sides, you get x equals negative 1. Once again, we have two solutions, negative 1 and 7/2. So put them both on the number line, negative 1 and 7/2. So your answer is either going to be it's strictly greater than, so it's either going to be those two as endpoints, or everything less than negative 1 and everything greater than 7/2. So again, pick a point between those two. 0 is another good point to try, so I'm going to let x equal 0. I plug 0 in, I'm going to get 0 minus 0 is greater than 7. Once again, that's false, and since that's false, we're going to select that as my solution set. So it's going to be x is less than negative 1, and x is greater than 7/2. And in interval notation, that's negative infinity all the way up to negative 1, or 7/2 all the way to infinity. We're going to use parentheses on both. That's solving quadratic inequalities.